Have you been bored in your Minecraft world recently? Welcome back, my name is Wookie, and today we're going to be going over a few commands in Minecraft that can make your experience more fun, or at the very least, help you kill a few hours in the game. Before I get into the commands themselves, I'm going to go ahead and explain what a command block is. A command block is a special block in Minecraft that you can store commands in. Instead of typing out a command in your chat right there, you can actually put the command in the block itself and activate it via a redstone signal or through other command blocks. The first command we're going to go over in Minecraft is the /give command. Now, obviously, you can do something simple and just give yourself a diamond in Minecraft or whatever you want to do. However, there's special things you can do with it, such as the command I have here. This command I have right here is giving myself an item. I can choose whatever item I want, and then I can actually put enchantment IDs on the item itself. It could be any item in the game, and I can give it any enchantment I want in the game, provided it's under a certain amount. I think it's like 256 is the max level you can get on an item. So what I did with this command is I just gave myself a regular old stick, and I enchanted it with sharpness level 200. To show that this command works, I'm just going to give myself that stick, spawn an iron golem, and boom, it's gone. So this command can make for some pretty wacky combinations. For example, I have two specially enchanted items right here. I'll spawn a cow to show you what they do. You see this cow? It's gone because this cookie has knockback level 25. And then this bow right here is going to have punch level 50. So that cow is now gone. For the next command I'm going to be showing is going to be the /give command again, except instead of using syntax to give it something special, I'm going to be using the debug stick, which is a very special item in Minecraft that allows you to do pretty cool things. For example, I can change the properties of blocks and entities sometimes. So with the debug stick, you can change the state of the block itself. I can change where this is facing. I can change what direction this one's facing. I can change whether or not this one's persistent or not, which basically just means whether or not the leaves can decay over time. I can change whether or not this one is open, which way it faces. So this is the bottom, this is the top. I can change whether or not it's open or closed. And then the same over here. I have to be crouching whenever it's an item you can activate. You can change whether or not it's on a wall or whether or not it's on the ceiling or the floor. Same thing with levers. Now with ladders, this is pretty cool because you can change which way it's actually facing, and you can get ladders that are actually attached to nothing, which is impossible in the actual game, and I can climb up it, and there's nothing that will destroy it unless I actually place a block and then destroy that block. You can do the same thing to vines themselves, but because they can actually exist without being attached to a block, it's not too special. So the next command I'm going to show you in Minecraft is going to be the /effect command. So I have a little bit of syntax out here showing you what it does. It's a /effect give me, and then the actual effect, so you can do speed, strength, whatever you want to do. This is the amount of time in seconds you're going to have it, and this is the intensity level, so how strong it's going to be. Do you want speed 2? Do you want speed 5? So on and so forth. So there are a few things to note about this command in Minecraft. Here I have speed 11. I'm going to apply to myself. You can see that I'm obviously a lot faster than you would be normally in Minecraft without the speed effect. And then with this command, I'm going to give myself speed 100, so I can go really, really fast. Now, one thing that's weird about the effect command in Minecraft is that the intensity level, or the amplifier is what they call it, is going to be one value less than whatever you're actually going to get. What I mean here is I'm going to give myself what is said as speed 9, but when I look up here, it's going to say speed X, which is speed 10 in Roman numerals. The next effect I'm going to be showing up is the jump boost effect. So here I can jump exactly 5 blocks with jump boost 5. One interesting thing about the jump boost effect is that whatever intensity you have, that's exactly how many blocks you can jump up, aside from jump boost 1, which gives you 1.5 blocks. Another thing to note about the jump boost effect is that there's actually a maximum you can get before you can just straight up not jump anymore. Now, you might be able to hear my keyboard. I am spamming my spacebar. I cannot jump until after the effect wears off. So what is the cap, you're asking? Well, the cap is going to be 127 or 128 because of the whole, nonsense with the +1. And this is exactly how high you can jump at maximum in Minecraft without any mods. Why is it like that? I have no idea. On to the next command. With this command right here, I have resistance. I can't access it because I'm in survival mode, but I'm gonna give myself resistance and then teleport myself up here. I believe I gave myself resistance like 50. Essentially, you take like no damage. I think after resistance 6 or 7, you just straight up don't take damage. You're practically invincible. The last effect I'm going to show you is going to be the haste effect, which surprisingly actually does not work in creative mode. Really weirdly, it does not. No idea why. But in survival mode, boop, these are gone. It's literally like, it's insane how fast you can mine with the haste thing here. The next command I'm going to show you is going to be the /fill command, which I find very useful when building in Minecraft. It's going to fill this block all the way right here to that block all the way down there with water, but I have special syntax that only replaces the air. So it will only replace air blocks in that little rectangular prism, and it will not place any solid blocks. To show that, I'm going to go ahead and run it, and there you go. It filled only the air in this little pool right here. Now, to show you what will happen if you do not have that syntax, I'm going to go ahead and run it, and it just deletes all the blocks that you have that were solid inside this pool. This command has its upsides and downsides. You just have to use it tactfully and only when necessary. Now, perhaps my favorite command in Minecraft is going to be the /clone command. For example, what if I wanted this exact house right here, but I wanted multiple of them because it's in a neighborhood? Well, I can use this /clone command, and I'm going to go ahead and just move this house right on over here. So now I have two of the exact same houses, an exact replica. However, the only thing is that you cannot clone entities into the new house. So you'll see right here, I have some paintings, I have this dog, and I have more paintings up here that you will not see in this new house. There's no paintings here, my dog Felix is not there, and there's no paintings up here. Overall, a pretty powerful command, and to show you a visual representation of what the command is actually targeting, I believe I had the command go from right here, this block is targeting that one, all the way to over here. So it's going to include everything in this rectangular prism, and it's going to clone it right on over here. Next command I'm going to be showing you is going to be the /particle command, which I think is really fun because you can add things like showers, or you can add flames or other things in Minecraft. The command is going to be listed out here. I'm going to try to walk through the entire command very simply. So the command is /particle, falling water, which is a very specific particle I chose to display, and it's going to be the exact coordinates I want it to appear at. So this is X, Y, and Z. And then the next set of coordinates, this is the variable. This is how far in the X direction the particles can go. So they can be 0.1 blocks away from that exact anchor point I have right here. This is how far it can go in the Y direction. This is how far it can be in the Z direction. And then right here is going to be the speed. And then this one is going to be how many are showing up every single tick. Now, if none of that really made any sense, I'm going to go ahead and actually do the particle command right here. I have it in relative to my position. It's going to be 2 blocks up from my feet. It's going to be -3 blocks in the Z direction, and it's going to be exactly in the same position. There's going to be no variance in where it spawns. Again, this thing right here is going to be the speed, and then this last one right here is going to be the count. The last part over here is going to be force and normal. For this, I would be very careful because if you have force, it's going to spawn those particles no matter what for every single player that can see them. So this is a little annoying because some people have not as good of a PC, and so they'll go to their video settings, they'll go to their animations, their particles, and they'll put it at minimal so they don't see any particles, and it'll make their PC perform better. But if I have this exact command formed, so right there you can obviously see my particles went away. If I do force this command, it will spawn those particles for them anyway, which can make their PC run slower. So I'd be very careful about using the force command with this. Now, to show you what it looks like if you spread out the particles a little bit more, I have the particles able to spawn in a 10 by 10 by 10 direction. They could be 10 up, 10 down, 10 to the left, right, so on and so forth. Now it just looks like it's raining. One thing about how often it'll spawn throughout that little rectangular prism I set up is that I believe it's called a Gaussian curve, or like a bell curve. If you know what statistics is, you'll understand a little bit more. Basically, the particles are more likely to spawn in the center of the rectangular prism than they are towards the edge. And you can kind of tell if I go towards the edge, there's not too many particles spawning, but the closer I get to the middle, you can see they spawn a lot more often. So in a nutshell, that should be everything about the particle command. The next command here is not too useful if you just want to play around with it, but if you're creating maps or if you're trying to create an experience in Minecraft, you can make it really terrifying. For example, that was the cave sound effect in Minecraft. So this is the /play sound in Minecraft. Here I have the ambient cave sound. It's at the master volume. So basically what that means is if I go to options, if I go to music and sounds, it's going to apply to the master volume. I can apply it to the jukebox, the blocks, any of these. I can apply the actual sound effect to, and then I have it applied to every single person in the server, which is, it's on single player, it's just me. And I'm gonna have it play exactly where the command block is. This command's pretty fun because you can play whatever sound you want in Minecraft. There's hundreds, there's thousands of sounds in the game. Now this next command block is gonna make me a little sad because it used to be a lot cooler. So right here I have a repeating command block. It's going to add time onto the day. Unfortunately, what it does is it only updates like every 1 second. You can't really see the sun moving very fluidly, which you used to be able to do in the past. On to the next command. Now, this next command is going to be the game rule command. And when I say it's one command, it's actually like a lot of different commands. The most notable ones I have are going to be set up right here. The first one's going to be do daylight cycle. I can turn it off. So basically it just means that the time is never going to change. It's always going to be sunny, or I can always have it be nighttime. This might be useful if you want to do like a hardcore version of your world and always have mobs in the world. So you can just set it to nighttime. So the next game we're going to be showing is going to be the entity drops equals false. So if I click this and I go into survival mode, if I try to break an entity like a minecart, it doesn't pop off. So if you break an entity or somehow it gets destroyed, it will not drop the item. I turned it on to true. If I break this, bam, now it drops me the item. The next game where we're going to be getting into is the mob loot equals false. So I can turn that on, spawn a wither skeleton. Oh no, it didn't give me any loot. The game rule just stops any sort of mob from dropping any sort of loot. If I turn it back on to true, you can see that I have a bunch of loot. The next game rule is going to be tile drops equals false. So I can turn that on. Any sort of block in the world will now not drop anything. But I can turn it on to true and things will drop as normal. So before I get to the next game rule, I'm going to be showing you two more commands which are kind of useful, which will build on into the next game rule, which is going to be /set world spawn. What this does, it'll set every single person's spawn point in the entire world to wherever you run that command. In this case, it's going to be setting it to this exact command block. And the next one's going to be /spawn point. So this one is only going to be per individual. And it's going to be setting it to wherever you stand or wherever you run the command. I think if you run it through a command block like this, it's going to set my spawn point to wherever I'm standing. This next game rule is going to be the /cape inventory equals true. Pretty self-explanatory. If I turn it on and I end my existence, I'm going to keep everything that was in my inventory. However, if I turn this off and I do the exact same thing, I lost all my stuff. For this next game rule, it's going to be mob griefing. Again, pretty self-explanatory. If I turn it on to false, any mob that would impact the world itself, such as endermen, such as creepers, it will not blow up the surroundings. Now, again, to show you exactly what would happen if it's on true, bam, there you go. Now it's actually going to be destroying the world and blowing it up. This next game rule is going to be one that maybe only people who are interested in hardcore worlds would be interested in. It's called natural regeneration. So if I turn it on to false and I set my game mode into survival, let's say I get harmed a little bit, you know, take a little bit of damage, some fall damage. I'm not regenerating my health, you know, that's a little weird. You can heal yourself with healing potions, with regeneration, stuff like that. So you can regen health, but natural regeneration from your hunger bar will no longer work. And that's all the notable game rules. The next command we're going to be going over is going to be the summon command. Now this one right here is probably one of my favorites. You can spawn a giant and he's gone. Oh, he's not gone. They don't occur naturally. They're just a thing that exists in the game. And with the summon command, you can summon any sort of entity in Minecraft. You can summon the Ender Dragon, the Wither, literally any sort of entity you want. Now here I have the summon command with a bunch of bats. So you can see it spawned a bunch of bats and I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of them. I have one last command in Minecraft that you can definitely have some fun with. It's the /summon. We're summoning a creeper. Exactly where we are, it's going to be ignited, which means it won't be a passive creeper. It's already been ignited. It will explode, and the fuse is set to 0 seconds. So it will explode the second I summon it. It didn't explode anything. That's because I have the explosion radius set to 0. So what if I, you know, go ahead and let's set this to 1. Oh, it'll explode everything around in about a 1 block radius. Let's go ahead and set it to, I don't know, let's go with 10. Ooh, that's a little bit bigger. What if we, let's go to 100. See what that looks like. It actually isn't a radius of 100 necessarily. I think it technically is a radius of 100. Like you can see these blocks right here were done from the explosion themselves. And I think if you go out 100 blocks, you can see blocks that were destroyed. So how far can you actually take this command? 127. That is the biggest explosion that you can have from creepers or TNT in Minecraft. And yeah, it's the same pattern. If you set it at the biggest you can have it, you can see how much damage it does throughout the world. Now, the explosion reaches pretty far. I set it off all the way over in that village, and there's blocks over here that got destroyed. Like you can see that it went all the way in there. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's just a weird pattern that it uses. I think it's kind of cool. In general, be very careful of this command. You can't really control what it's going to explode. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Leave a like on the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Otherwise, I will see you soon.